and this is Keep It Simple. You can find us on the website at annskeepitsimple.com with recipes and videos on how to use leftovers, fast and quick ways to make meals to stretch $1. Anything that you have questions about, you can post on there also, and we'll try and answer them and help you out if you have any questions as far as cooking or what some products are and everything else. If we don't know, we'll find out and we'll help you out on the website too. Today we're doing easy Eggwiches, and I didn't really put a dollar amount on here because I'm essentially using everything leftovers that I have. That's how easy it is. I was actually at the grocery store, talked to a friend of mine that's also a mom, and she says, you know, it's funny that they always end up with, during the week, they have like a couple pieces of this, a couple pieces of that. And she says, how do you do that for a family of 4? And I says, well, it's easy. You just put something with it to stretch it out. So that's what I'm doing today. And I came home from the store that day, and before I even put my groceries away, I took out just a couple things that she had mentioned and made a breakfast meal for 4 people. And so I thought that would be a good idea because I've wondered the same thing. You either have, you go get a bucket of chicken during the week and you have a piece or 2 of chicken left over and maybe a couple biscuits, or you have, 3 or 4 biscuits left over and 1 piece of chicken, and you have 1 egg in the fridge. So this is a great way to use up some of that kind of stuff, and we're going to get onto some more of that throughout this season. So that's kind of what I'm basing this whole thing on. This recipe, I'm using 1 egg and whatever miscellaneous chopped veggies you have, again, leftovers. I'm using what I had left over from the week from salads and meals and everything else, sandwiches that I've made through the week. I'm just using what's left over. And a 1/4 cup of milk, which is a staple. You can check out the list of staples on the website also. Buns, biscuits, bread, whatever you have on hand or left over. Shredded cheese, it's optional. And so you don't have to use cheese if you don't want to, and you can use any kind of cheese if you want to. Whatever miscellaneous meat you have on hand, again, left over, chicken, pork, sausage, sausage links, that's great too. You'll stretch it. Potatoes, whatever you have left over. And so that being said, I went ahead, I had 2 leftover sausage links. And these are turkey sausage links, but you can use whatever you have on hand. If you have patties, use that. If you have bacon, chop that up too. And I'm going to get the egg going first, and veggies. And I have 1 egg that I'm using in this recipe. And this is actually a 1/4 cup of milk. If you have 2 eggs in there and you want to stretch it a little bit further, that's fine. Go ahead and use the whole 1/4 cup. I'm only going to use about half of it because that's all you really need. You'll see how far this stretches. So the rest is all veggies. I've got the pan on heating up. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there. You can use butter if that's what you have on hand too. Get these just cooking up a little bit here. And these are green onions or shallots or whatever you have on hand, again. And I had some carrots left over from the salads too this week. I had 1 piece of green pepper that I was just going to eat for a snack. Chop that up. And I also had some snow peas that were left over from salads earlier this week, and a soup that I made. So I just chopped everything up pretty much bite-sized that isn't already chopped up. And then I'm going to just chop up the sausage. 2 sausage links, that's all I have left, so that's what I'm going to use. If you have a couple bacon strips, that's fine too. If you have ground beef, use that. If you have a couple pieces of chicken, just pull it off the bone and stick it in there with the veggies. Essentially everything is pretty much bite-sized, and it's already cooked, so this takes no time at all. So breakfast, this is great for breakfast. Our family eats breakfast food for dinner, so any time of the day that you need something fast, this will work. Just get those browning up a little bit and heating through, just like that. Now this is a pretty big pan because I'm going to be making 4 of them. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit so it's pretty even. You get something in every bite, whatever meat you're using, veggies you're using, whatever else. And then I'm going to whip this up, the 1 egg and milk, mix it up. Just with a fork, get it all mixed together right there. And the veggies are already bite-sized, so it's not going to take them long to cook up a little bit. And then just pour that in there. Just like that. And even it out. A little bit. There we go. And let that cook up. You can put a lid on it. It'll cook evenly. Make sure your heat isn't on too high because it's going to be pretty thin as far as that cooking is concerned. This is where you can add salt and pepper if you want to. If you want to spice it up a little bit, put some red pepper flakes in there with that. And again, left over from this week, we had heat and serve rolls. That's all we had, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm making 4 sandwiches, so, and they don't even have to all be the same. If you have a couple different biscuits and a couple different pieces of roll, and even use toast if you want to, or bread, that's fine too. Just gonna slice these up, and you'll see how this is gonna make 4 sandwiches, okay? But I'm gonna make one up for you to show you how fast this is actually going to go. So, I'll go ahead, plate this up for you. As this is cooking, you can go ahead with a spatula, you can see it's almost completely cooked through already. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper because I didn't flavor or season any of the veggies. They're just raw veggies that were in there. Everything's cut to bite size. And you can see how that's cooking in there. And as it's almost done, which is what the lid helps do, it steams the top so it cooks pretty quickly. That's when I would just add a little bit of shredded cheese. Just like this, sprinkle it all on top. And this also is kind of a glue along with the egg that helps hold everything together. Now at this point you can eat it just like this if you want to. It's that good. But we're gonna make sandwiches out of it, make it a little heartier. Put the lid back on for just like a minute or so while you get your bread ready. If you want to put butter on it, that's what I'm gonna do. Some people like a little bit of mayonnaise with their eggs, that's fine too. Ketchup, whatever you want to use, just use for your rolls. You can toast these up lightly if you want to too. I didn't put any red pepper flakes in there, but again, you guys can do that very easily. You end up just cutting this in 4s. And even though the mixture was really thin when you poured it in there, that's what helps cook it so quickly. You kind of fold it over like a little omelet, and it fits perfectly on these little buns. Just like that. And you have breakfast sandwiches for 4, 1 egg, nice and fluffy because you added the milk and everything in there. And then for me, I would just put some fresh fruit on there, canned fruit, whatever you have on hand again. And that's your breakfast, and your guys are ready to go. Enjoy.